Now that you know who your customer segments are that you're trying to reach, it's important to understand what your positioning is, what your brand means to them. What is the value proposition of your brand to those customers? And you can always see this in clear, classic, iconic, and powerful brands. Something like a Nike, where the value to the customer is clearly always about athletic aspiration, pushing yourself to that higher level. The way that Apple has always been about making your digital life and experiences easy and accessible and intuitive. Starbucks, its brand positioning was always about creating that third space where you could relax and take a breath between work and home. Even a great B2B brand like SAP, the software business, they've had a real clear focus for years now about the heart of the brand. It's really about how do you make your business a best run business. So great brands always have a clear value proposition to their customer. And this is something you want to think about and try to articulate for your own brand. And if you do, you'll realize that your digital marketing, just like every other kind of marketing, really needs to be linked to that. It needs to somehow be integrated and grow out of that value proposition of your brand. Interesting example, I actually had an executive from Nike who was sharing stories of some of their different digital strategies that they've been exploring. They've been a real leader in thinking about how technology can be used to bring their brand to life in different ways. And he shared one interesting example of an initiative they were working on in European markets. It was going to be a mobile app called True City. And they looked at the folks who were their customer segments and trying to think about something cool they could do for them that would be appealing. So they came up with this app and they were developing it. And it was about, for these different European cities, helping you when you were there to really have the true experience of that city. And so they were getting lots of people who really knew the different cities, whether it was like DJs or fashion designers who lived there, event people. And they would sort of be curating and giving inside perspectives on the best places to go and what was the unique character of that city and things to do at different times of day, and to help you really have this great sort of insider experience of a city. And the project was going along, and they were finding the partners they needed and developing it. And it seemed really interesting and like it would be a great app for their customers. But at a certain point, they stepped back and they gave it the brand test, and they said, is this really on brand? Right? Is this really on point for the Nike brand? What does this have to do with our brand value of athletic aspiration? In the end, they finally decided that this was a great idea for an app, but it was something that a lot of other businesses could have done just as likely as Nike. And so in the end, they decided actually to cancel the project and not move forward with it, because they said we really want to keep the focus of all of our digital experiences on that core brand value. And I think that's a great choice that they made and a great thing to think about in our own case. Another brand that's really sort of applied, thinking about their brand voices, actually, they talk about it to their digital strategy, is Kate Spade New York. So Kate Spade New York is a fashion brand that has a variety of clothing, also accessories. It's a great brand, and they've really spent a lot of time thinking about themselves as a brand, actually in terms of what they call the voice of their brand. They really talk about the Kate Spade girl. It's sort of an iconic, it's not, this is our average customer. It's sort of, this is the woman who sort of embodies the spirit and the lively energy and the sense of style and humor and kind of playfulness of the brand that they want all their products and everything to come out of. And they actually spend time talking about and kind of writing out, who is the Kate Spade girl? What would she be like? What personality traits does she have? Does she not have? What are the books this year that she would be reading and that she wouldn't be reading? Where are the places she would go this summer for vacation and the places she wouldn't go? And they really have this portrait of her. She's quick, she's curious, she's playful, she's strong. And they use this as a way to think about everything from their product development to their in-store design to when they get on Instagram. What kind of pictures would she be sharing? What kind of words would she be posting on Twitter? What would she be sharing on a Snapchat? These are the kinds of things. It's the same voice of the brand which guides it in all of its physical manifestations, gives it this grounding and this clear sort of persona in its digital voice as well.